Hi and hello everybody, it's Fern. Welcome back to a book haul. I know, I don't do book hauls very often, but I have been acquiring over the past, this is actually from over the past few months. Some of these are from the summer. I was having a menty bee for a couple months there, but I was still receiving books, apparently. I'll literally be on my deathbed and I'll be on the Aardvark thing on the first of the month. Okay, so I have my Nightworms October package, which I'm really excited about. That was when I was waiting to arrive for me to sit down and film this video. Also, I swear the dishwasher is almost done. I've been sitting here waiting and it's just going. So it should finish soon, but sorry about that if you can hear it in the background. I have Aardvark from September and October. And then I have a stack of just other books that I have acquired via different, oh, it's finishing. Oh, no, it's not, never mind. Via different trips to the bookstore that I just haven't talked about on the weekly vlogs. So I figured that I would throw them into this video as well. And we're just gonna have a big bookish time. There's probably not many new people here, but you never know when YouTube's gonna push out a video to someone. So if you are new, I read a little bit of everything, but I really love horror and literary fiction. But yeah, right now I'm reading some cozy fantasy. My current reads right now are The Buffalo Hunter by Stephen Graham Jones, The Enchanted Greenhouse by Sarah Beth Durst, and The Secret History by Donna Tartt. So really all over the place. And I kind of love that. Maybe I'll start with Nightworms, because that one's so fun to open. And I don't know how long I'm gonna stay subscribed to Nightworms because it's so expensive to get here in Canada, but I've just been treating myself. So maybe till the end of the year I will stay subscribed. It's the shipping. The shipping is so expensive. Okay. So Nightworms is really cool because they are a woman-owned small business that sends out curated horror picks every month. So you don't choose the book that you're getting. It's the same, everybody gets the same 2 books. And then they add in a couple of extra goodies, usually stickers and like a tea. And you often get signed book plates to put in the books as well. I'm such a big fan of Sadie, Mother Horror on Instagram. I think that she is so cool. So yeah, I was very happy to be able to support her and subscribe to Nightworms, even if it's only for a little while. Okay. So we have this little package. I'll open this first because it will have the information card with the theme for the month. Ooh, these books look so nice. I'm actually really excited about them. Okay, so the theme for this month is pink horror. Love that. And then they just have a list of everything that's included in the box. I'll link all of these boxes and everything in the description, of course. Oh my gosh, this is so cool. They sent a coffee this month, and I'm actually not drinking coffee very often right now. But I will definitely have this as a treat one day. It is Caramel Apple by Haunted Cups Coffee, and it just looks so cool. I love this packaging. That's really cool, this cute little mini coffee. And then we have the monthly bookmark and some stickers. Ooh, I really like this one. That is cool. Love that. And then we also have this sticker right here. Is it mushrooms? Oh yeah, cutie. That's actually cute as well. And then it looks like we have signed book plates for both of the books, so that's nice. So the paperback is Teenage Girls Can Be Demons by Haley Piper. Absolutely love this cover, and I was so excited about this book because I haven't read Haley Piper before, but I've heard a lot about her in the horror community, so I thought this would be the perfect opportunity to give her a try with a short story collection. So I'm really excited to hop into this. It is a short story collection, right? I think it is. Yeah, it is. Nat Cassidy blurbed it on the back, saying, "Piper can twist you into otherworldly shapes while still reminding you of your essential, heartbreaking humanity. 13 coming-of-age stories the way only Bram Stoker award-winning author Haley Piper can tell them. Wildly inventive, brilliantly imaginative, and completely and utterly enthralling. These stories take our most difficult years of transformation and twist them into new and terrifying shapes where the monsters are real and you'll do whatever it takes to get away or get even. So I'm really excited about this one. My first Haley Piper, so that's definitely a win. And then the hardcover is also a horror author that I have heard about, but I've never read from before, and I've wanted to, and that's Alma Katsu. So this is Fiend. Really cool cover on this one as well. Looks like it's gonna be some sort of haunted house, haunted building, I don't know. Let's see what it says. The Berisha family runs one of the largest import-export companies in the world, and they've always been lucky. Their rivals suffer strokes, inconvenient buildings catch on fire, earthquakes swallow up manufacturing plants, destroying harmful evidence. Things always seem to work out for the Berishas. They're blessed. At least that's what Zeph, the patriarch, has always told his 3 children, and each of them know their place in the family. Darden, as the only male heir, must prepare to take over keeper of the Berisha secrets. Maris's most powerful contribution, much to her dismay, will be to marry strategically, and Nora's job as the youngest is to just stay out of the way. But when things stop going as planned and the family's blessings start looking more like a curse, the Berishas begin to splinter, each hatching their own secret scheme. They didn't get to be one of the richest families in the world without spilling a little blood, but this time it might be their own. Okay, so it's like a family drama. I love family drama, so I'm really excited about this one. I love sibling dynamics in books. Yeah, this sounds up my alley, so I'm excited to give this one a try. And the signed book plates for both of them. Look at how cool these ones look. Love that. Definitely be sticking those in there. Okay, that's definitely been one of my favorite Nightworms boxes thus far, so that is amazing. And then we have Aardvark, so let's hop into that one next. Oh, also I skipped book of the month for October, so no book of the month right now. I just didn't like their picks. I haven't been liking a lot of their picks lately, which is kind of a bummer, so fingers crossed for November, but I'll just skip again if I have to. I already have so many books, as we know, so it's fine. I have been a long time subscriber of Aardvark. I think they're such a cool company. I love their selections, and over the summer I was lucky enough to become a rep for them, so now my boxes are free, which is so crazy, but I just like to be upfront about that, of course. I do have a discount code. If you haven't tried them before and you want to, and you're in the US, if you use the code FERN, you can get your first box for $4 with free shipping, which is an insane deal. I don't even know how they're doing that. So yeah, definitely take advantage if you want to get a hardback book for only $4. Okay, I think this one is September, but I don't know. Let's see if it has the date on here. Yeah, this is September. So I'll do this one first. Dun, 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 dun. Oh my gosh, I forgot. I always forget. And this has been sitting here for so long. It's the end of October now, so this has been here for well over a month. I think that they're all horror picks in this one. So first we have Coffin Moon by Keith Rosen, and this one caught my attention first of all because I've heard about Fever House, and I actually think that I have it on my Kobo, but I haven't read it before. But this is the author of Fever House, and I guess since that one has always been on my radar because I've heard it compared to Talk to Me, the movie, because I think it's something to do with like a haunted hand. So I'd heard of the author because of Fever House is what I'm trying to say. So when I saw that Aardvark was offering their newest book, I was like, okay, maybe I will give that one a try as well. I think that this is historical horror. It sounds really good. It takes place in the winter time, so I would love to read this between like November to January. We'll see when I end up picking it up, and it's a vampire book. So yeah, sounds good. From the author of the exciting, suspenseful, horrifying Fever House, a Vietnam veteran and his adopted niece hunt and are hunted by the vampire that slaughtered their family. Takes place in the winter of 1975 in Portland, Oregon. So already the vibes are immaculate, Pacific Northwest. And I have heard that this is emotional. I really like that there's a relationship between this man and I think he like adopts his niece. that gives me the vibes of The Last of Us. That's like immediately what I thought of. I love what like that type of dynamic between characters. So yeah, there's just several things that are kind of speaking to me about this book, so I'm really excited to give it a go. It's not as thick as I was expecting. I thought that this was going to be like massive for some reason, but it looks approachable, so woo. Okay, and then I did go ahead and grab Lucky Day by Chuck Tingle. I'm gonna be honest, I have no idea if this is gonna be up my alley. In fact, I think that I may hate it, but I really want to give it a try because I really want to love Chuck Tingle. The only book that I've read prior to this one by Chuck Tingle is Camp Damascus, and I absolutely loved the first half of that and didn't like the second half. So there's potential here, and I'm just gonna keep going. I also have Bury Your Gaze on my Kobo, so I'm not sure which one I'll end up reading first, but I'm just really curious about this one. I also love the cover. Oh my gosh, it's so cool actually. Like, what the heck? I've heard that this is really absurd though, so that is where I am hesitant because I kind of hate like silly things. Look at the eyeball. I kind of hate silly things in books, but this is a really cool special edition from Aardvark with this foiled cover underneath the dust jacket. It's so pretty. I love the pink and green so much. So yeah, obviously I had to grab it, and who knows, maybe I'll love it. I don't know. Let me know if you've read this. I'm so curious about opinions on this. I haven't even said what it's about. Okay, I'll just read this out because yeah, I don't know. 4 years ago, an unthinkable disaster occurred. In what is later known as the low probability event, 8 million people were killed in a single day, all of them dying in improbable, bizarre ways, strangled by balloon ropes, torn apart by exploding manhole covers, attacked by a chimpanzee wielding a typewriter. A day of freak accidents that proved anything is possible, no matter the odds. Luck is real now, and it's not always good. Vera, a former statistics and probability professor, lost everything that day, and she still struggles to make sense of the unbelievable catastrophe. To her, the LPE proved that the god of order is dead and nothing matters anymore. When Special Agent Lane shows up on Vera's doorstep, she learns he's investigating a suspiciously and statistically impossible lucky casino. He needs her help to prove the casino's success is connected to the deaths of millions, and it's Vera's last chance to make sense of a world that doesn't. Because what's happening in Vegas isn't staying there, and she's the only thing that stands between the world and another deadly improbability. See, it sounds so weird. I don't know what to make of it, but yeah, I'll find out when I read it. And then another one that I actually have no idea whether I'm gonna like or not, but I was just intrigued by and I wanted to try out, is You Weren't Meant to Be Human by Andrew Joseph White, who I've never read from before. I've heard very mixed things about this book, and I also think that it is on the extreme end of horror. So that makes me a little nervous, but yeah, I'm still keen to give it a try. It's pitched as Alien meets Midsummer in this chilling novel from award-winning author Andrew Joseph White about an alien invasion in rural West Virginia. So yeah, this is something about this like hive mind of bugs are taking over the planet or something. Like, I don't even really get what this is about, but I know that there's a lot of trigger warnings, so definitely look them up if you're interested in this one. But I know that it has trans rep, the main character is trans, but I think it is an unwanted pregnancy, and this like hive insect alien thing wants the baby. It's another one that sounds kind of weird and dark. I've heard really mixed things about this, so I honestly have no idea what my reading experience is going to be, but that's kind of what I love about these book boxes. They put books on my radar that I maybe wouldn't have picked up if I didn't see them there. And then of course we have our Aardvark bookmarks, so cutie. Pro tip, never skip an author's note. And the rest of the September selection, there was a lot of books. I'm kind of eyeing this Which You Would book. If any of y'all have read it, let me know if it was good, because I've just been on this like cozy witchy kick lately. My cozy witchy kick happened after I placed my order for this box, so if I would have ordered this later, I might have picked the Witchy Wood book instead of having like such a horror heavy box, but I'm still excited about the books that I got. And that's it for my September box. Now for my October box. I don't even remember what I got. Wait, I kind of do. Oh yeah, oh my gosh, I was so excited about this one. I hope it's good. I'm so curious about this book, you guys. I haven't heard anything about it. I just saw it on Aardvark and I was like, that sounds like something I would like. And that is Salt Crop by Yumi Kitase. Oh, this cover is stunning. I love this so much. What the heck? So this is an eco thriller, which I've discovered a love for this year with Charlotte McConaughey. And this is like a watery. I love anything with water themes, especially in an apocalyptic setting where it's like raining all the time, or yeah, just I love a wet book. I really do. Okay, it says, in Earth's not too distant future, seas consume coastal cities, highways disintegrate underwater, and mutant fish lurk in pirate-controlled depths. Immaculate vibes. Skipper, a skilled sailor and the youngest of 3 sisters, earns money skimming and reselling plastic from the ocean to care for her ailing grandmother. But then her eldest sister, Nora, goes missing. Nora left home a decade ago in pursuit of a cure for failing crops all over the world. When Skipper and her other sister, Carmen, receive a cryptic plea for help, they must put aside their differences and set across the sea to find her. As they voyage through a dying world, both beautiful and strange, they learn more about their sister's work and the corporations that want what she discovered. The farther they go, the more uncertain their mission becomes. What dangerous attention did Nora attract, and how well do Skipper and Carmen really know their sister, or each other? Thus begins an epic journey spanning oceans and continents and a wistful rumination on sisterhood, friendship, and ecological disaster. Oh my gosh, I really hope that this is good, you guys. I don't even think that I've looked up reviews yet, but I hope that they're good, because everything about this is just screaming a Fern book. So yeah, I'm really excited to read this one, obviously. Okay, and then next I had trouble choosing. Like, I was torn between this and something else, but I can't remember what it was. I'll see it when I look on the card, but I ended up choosing The Mad Wife by Megan Church. And this one is following a 1950s housewife, but then a new neighbor moves in, and Lulu suspects that something darker lurks behind the woman's constant smile. As her fixation on Bitsy deepens, Lulu is drawn into a web of unsettling truths that threaten to expose the cracks in her own life. It says, in the vein of The Bell Jar and The Hours, The Mad Wife weaves domestic drama with psychological suspense so poignant and immersive you won't want to put it down. So this, again, is a bit of a wild card. I like books that explore themes of feminism. The last book that I read with this like 1950s housewife kind of ideology was, oh, what was that book that I hated? The Once and Future Me. It was like trying to explore that, but I ended up giving that book 2 stars. I found it really just like poorly written and kind of cringy. So I'm hoping that this book is going to kind of scratch that itch for a more deep and emotional exploration of those themes. So yeah, we'll see what this one gives me. It's actually kind of thick. How many pages is this? 331, so not actually that long. And then y'all know that I had to get Aardvark's short story collection that they have published, One Bad Night. Look at this cover. I love it so, so much. So this is a collection of horror short stories, I believe. Stories by Kay Cronister, Del Sandine, Kylie Lee Baker, Rachel Harrison, oh my gosh, my woman, CJ Lead, Jennifer Thorne, S.A. Barnes, and Stephen Graham Jones. So such a great collection of authors, and I'm really excited to read this. Yeah, so another short story collection. I haven't read many short story collections, so it's kind of funny that I'm getting a couple in these book boxes today. I thought that was so cool that Aardvark put that out though. Like, what the heck? They're really doing it. Oh my gosh, and then the cute bookmarks have that one on it as well. That's so cute. I love their bookmarks. So that was my October Aardvark box, and this was, oh yeah, the Autumn Springs Retirement Home Massacre by Philip Fracassi. That is the other one that I was debating between. If any of y'all have read that, let me know. I could get it on my Kobo, put on my wish list on there perhaps. But yeah, so that is my Aardvark. I'm all caught up on unboxing them now finally, and it's literally almost the 1st of November, so I will be choosing my November box soon as well. Okay, and then I have a bunch of books that I just picked up at the bookstore on, this is like 4 different trips. I don't typically buy a lot of books at once at the bookstore, so yeah, some of these are from like August. I guess I'll go in order of when I got these. So I got 3 books when I was in Vancouver, when I was over there seeing Ethel Cain. And I don't know, in my vlog, I guess I just felt like I was yapping too much or something, so I didn't end up hauling these. I wasn't planning on grabbing books, but I actually found these all used, so that was very enticing to me. So the first one that I got is Sundial, which is, I think it's more of a thriller than horror, but I've heard people talk about this one before, and I haven't read anything from Catriona Ward, so I figured that I would grab it. This is set in the desert, and it just sounds enticing. The blurb from Paul Tremblay on here says, a wild, twisted family gothic unlike any you read before and one you won't soon forget. Like I said, I love family dynamics in books. One of my favorite shows is The Haunting of Hill House. In fact, I was just thinking the other day that I need to rewatch it again this year soon. But I love the ambiance of that show, like the gothic ambiance combined with the like family drama, sibling dynamics, and all the emotions that come along with that. I just love it so much. So any books that have anything remotely close to that, I will want to read. It says, you can't escape what's in your blood. All Rob wanted was a normal life. She almost got it too. A husband, 2 kids, a nice house in the suburbs. But Rob fears for her oldest daughter, Callie, who collects tiny bones and whispers to imaginary friends. Rob sees a darkness in Callie, one that reminds her too much of the family she left behind. She decides to take Callie back to her childhood home, to Sundial, deep in the Mojave Desert, and there she will have to make a terrible choice. Callie is worried about her mother. Rob has begun to look at her strangely and speak of past secrets. Callie fears that only one of them will leave Sundial alive. The mother and daughter embark on a dark desert journey to the past in the hopes of redeeming their future. Sharp as a snakebite, Sundial is a thrilling new novel from the internationally best-selling author of The Last House on Needless Street, which I also really want to read. So this is like family secrets, desert ambiance. I don't know, I've heard that it's good, so I grabbed it. And then strangely, I also picked up another book that is set in the desert, Desert Creatures by Kay Cronister. Now this is on my radar because I read The Bog Wife this year and I absolutely loved it. That is the book that has given me the closest vibes to The Haunting of Hill House, the show. It was so good. And then some of y'all commented that I need to pick up Desert Creatures by the same author. So when I saw this there, I got so excited because I've never seen this before in a bookstore ever. So I obviously had to grab it. And yeah, I think it's a very just like weird kind of journey situation in the desert. In a world grown desiccated and treacherous, one young woman will find salvation or become just another wrought, lonely skull in the sand. Okay. With ferocious imagination and poetic precision, Desert Creatures is a haunting story of endurance at the expense of redemption. What compromise does survival require of a woman, and can she ever unlearn the instincts that have kept her alive? It follows an 11-year-old girl and her father fleeing through the harsh landscape of the American West and then her father dies and she has to continue on. Anyways, really excited to read another book from this author. And then at that same store, I ended up grabbing Ripe. First of all, the cover drew me in, and I knew I had heard of this before. So I opened Goodreads and I looked at some of the reviews, and they're pretty good. A lot of people were loving this book. This is by Sarah Rose Eder. And I don't even really remember what it's about. I think it's like a corporate... Yeah, from an award-winning writer whose work Roxane Gay calls utterly unique and remarkable comes a surreal novel about a woman in Silicon Valley who must decide how much she's willing to give up for success. Yeah, I think this is a bit of like a weird literary fiction book. A year into her dream job at a cutthroat Silicon Valley startup, Cassie finds herself trapped in a corporate nightmare. Between the long hours, toxic bosses, and unethical projects, she also struggles to reconcile the glittering promise of a city where obscene wealth lives alongside abject poverty and suffering. Ivy League grads complain about the snack selection from a conference room with a view of unhoused people bathing in the bay. Startup burnouts leap into the paths of commuter trains, and men literally set themselves on fire in the streets. Though isolated, Cassie is never alone. From her earliest memory, a miniature black hole has been her constant companion. It feeds on her depression and anxiety, growing or shrinking in relation to her distress. The black hole watches, but it also waits. Its relentless pull draws Cassie ever closer as the world around her unravels. When she ends up unexpectedly pregnant at the same time her CEO demands cross into illegal territory, Cassie must decide whether the tempting fruits of Silicon Valley are really worth it. Sharp but vulnerable, unsettling yet darkly comic, Ripe portrays one millennial woman's journey through our late capitalist hellscape and offers a brilliantly incisive look at the absurdities of modern life. It sounds really good, right? Yeah, it sounds like it's tackling a lot of different themes and topics. So I'll be curious to read this and see how it's done. Ooh, the pomegranate. Okay, and now we're getting into books that I got more recently. Actually, I think this one might have still been in August because I had a coupon for the bookstore. So I went and grabbed this one book, which I've been meaning to grab for a long time, but it's just so expensive for a hardcover, and this one is so small, so I just couldn't justify it. But I had a coupon, like I said, and a gift card actually. I think I only ended up paying like a few dollars for this by the end of it. But I grabbed Victorian Psycho by Virginia Fado, and this is gonna be my Christmas book. So that's why I wanted to grab it, because I specifically want to read this in December. I don't think it's super Christmassy, but it takes place at Christmas time. And once I had heard people saying that, I was like, perfect, that's gonna be what I read this Christmas, because I always like to choose something that's kind of festive, but it's not like a Christmas book, you know? So this is gonna be my Christmas horror book. Last year I read Krampus, which was really good, a lot longer than this one is. So many people have talked about this, but I think the gist of it is we are following a, what's it called? Not a nanny, but governess. She's a governess for this family. This is like in Victorian times. Obviously, it's literally called Victorian Psycho. But people say that this is really messed up. Some people have said that it's not as messed up as people are hyping it up to be, but it's horror. This woman is unwell and is doing some crazy things. So yeah, that's gonna be my December read, one of them. And then I got this just a couple of weeks ago. I ended up ordering another David Sodergren book. I can't get them on Kobo, which is so sad. So I just end up ordering the paperbacks off of Amazon, because I think that that's literally like the only place that I can get them. I don't have a Kindle, so yeah, I ended up grabbing Rotten Tommy. I thought that I was going to be reading The Har next from David Sodergren, and I do still really want to read The Har. I will order that eventually, but I had heard someone talking about this recently, and it sounded really up my alley. This is like a haunted film trope. I'll read the back to you. It's not very long. It says, it's been 40 years since Becky Sharp's mother vanished without a trace. Becky has given up all hope of finding her until she makes a strange discovery that may hold the key to solving her mother's disappearance. 3 unmarked videotapes hidden in the wall of her childhood home. And as Becky watches the tapes, she finds herself drawn into a horrific mystery far greater than she could possibly have imagined. For Becky has unwittingly summoned a long-forgotten nightmare, a creature that threatens the lives and sanity of all around her. Rotten Tommy has come to play, and nothing on earth can sate his diabolical bloodlust. A grisly and bizarre horror fever dream, Rotten Tommy is the latest disturbing shocker from David Sodergren, author of The Har and Maggie's Grave. So the only David Sodergren that I've read this far is Summer of the Monsters, which was okay. I didn't love it, but I liked his writing, and I'm definitely keen to read more of his books. And he's self-published, so I feel good about supporting, you know? Haunted film things always just seem... Oh, does this take place in the... When does this take place? The first chapter says 1984. Oh, and then it goes to 40 years later, so I guess it is... Takes place in modern day. Anyways, there's just something nostalgic about the haunted film trope because I think of things like The Ring and stuff that were movies like when I was a little kid. Okay, my camera overheated, but the most recent book that I picked up just like last week or something, kind of as an impulse buy. It was on my wish list. It's on my Kobo wish list. But then I saw it in the bookstore and ended up grabbing it, the physical copy, for a couple different reasons. And that is Widow's Point by Richard Kismar and W.H. Kismar. I think it's a father and son duo. Haven't read from them before. Y'all know how I love a water ambiance. I love an ocean ambiance. I love a lighthouse ambiance, and this is about a haunted lighthouse. Like, it just sounds so good. This is also a found footage book, so the cover's so cool and like shiny and like retro looking. But when I opened it up and was looking, the format of it is very mixed media. So I figured that this would just be easier to read as a physical book than on my Kobo, because you never know how things are going to be formatted on the Kobo, but it's all like emails and stuff like that, and like audio recordings, and you know, it's like very, very mixed media. So I ended up grabbing the physical copy, and it's a bit of a risk because, like I said, I haven't read from them before, and I mean, the reviews were actually positive when I looked, so hopefully it's gonna be good. But yeah, haunted lighthouse found footage. Sounds very up my alley. I love a creepy lighthouse. The ghost tour in my city takes you inside a lighthouse at the waterfront, which is really cool. Also on Prince Edward Island, I went to the lighthouse that received the first distress signal from the Titanic, which is really cool. And I went there, but I didn't get to go inside because they were closed the day that we went for some reason, which is such a bummer, but I would like to actually go in and see it next time we're there. Anywho, that is all my books. That was a lot. Like I said, this is over a few months span. I don't normally bring in this many books at one time, but it was kind of fun to unbox them all and talk about them with you, so I hope that you enjoyed. Maybe you found something to put on your wish list. I'm looking forward to sharing my thoughts on these as I read them in the future. I'll link my Goodreads in the description box if you don't follow me over there. I always, I'm pretty good at tracking all of my books on there, and I've been trying to write reviews for them as well. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Leave me a comment down below. I'd love to chat with you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!